Can you show how to do that, Eric? How
Mm-hmm.
to, because all I have is like a list of material, but no big titles like that.
So let's see here. So I have warm-up questions, independent classwork, reading and writing assignments, practice test questions, quizzes, surveys, resources. What else could I make? Let's say I want a video section. So you go to create. Everything you want to do in terms of assignments and topics is under this create option. So you go to create topic. And then this is the category, right? So we'll just call it videos.
So that'll be the big title in blue. Oh yeah.
That's the big title in blue.
Okay.
And you can move it around, which I don't like. I want my warm-up questions maybe at the top. So I don't want videos. It's probably way down at the bottom here.
Got it.
It's probably like down by resources, I would think, for where I actually want it to be. So I can move it. And so now it's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I can add new material, new links under that section. There's nothing there now. And I think actually you won't even see it. If you go to your page now, I don't think you see it until there's something in that category. So let's create a discussion question. I mean, it doesn't have to be a discussion question, but it's just a question because it actually doesn't have to be visible to everybody else in the class. That's what I just chose. I chose to do it that way because I thought it'd be interesting. So we go to create question. And then we fill out this little form. So anyone got a good warm-up question for a class? What would you do if we were in the room with people? What would you ask? Something to get people talking to each other.
I would think, are you going to vote?
Hmm.
If it's voting you want to start up, you'll get a lot of feedback on that.
There we go. Right. So so you put the question there. Instructions are you don't even need instructions necessarily, but you could just say write your response. Maybe on the top, on the right side of the page, because one thing people notice is that there's a class comments section below every assignment. That's not actually where you want them to write it. I'll show you that in a second. You want them to write it in the answer to the question section. And so that's about it. But on the right side here, there's some options. I don't want points. I don't care about points. So mine's going to be ungraded. I want all students to get it, and I want it to be in this class. So, you know, I don't even mess with this part. I don't care about a due date, probably. The topic is you can get to choose from the topics you already have, or you could create a new topic. But I'll just choose my warm-up questions because that's where I want it to go. So that'll put it in that section of the text. And then here I can choose these different options if I want them or not. I could have it private, so it's just me and the student, or I could have everybody be able to see it. And that's it. And then I just hit ask. But you could also schedule this for the future if you wanted. Like you want to do this like in your Wednesday class next week, you could click schedule, change the date to Wednesday the 7th at, I don't know, is it 8 a.m. maybe? Maybe you want it to be sent out an hour before the class starts at 9. I don't know. Like, that's really up to you, right? I could hit schedule here. And so now it's going to go out. See how it's, see, I'm in the warm-up section. It says I'm scheduled for October 7th at 8 a.m. Or I could change my mind and say, hey, I want to give it out right now. I click, go back to these little dots here. These always roll over, right? So you can edit any of your assignments. And go to edit. Now just close that schedule thing, cancel that, and hit ask. And if you go to your student view right now, you should see it. I mean, the next few seconds, we'll see here. It turns blue because it was posted. You're probably going to get an email. I'm not probably. You're going to get an email about it as well, and you should see it in your as a student as also.
Under stream, is it right there, right away?
Under classwork. Yeah, you can have your classwork get duplicated in the stream, but I have that option turned off.
Oh, right, okay.
It's only under classwork. And I'll show you, I have a student view. So right now it's a little fake me. It's a student. You might want to do this as well. Join your class with a different email address. But so I can see now as a student, here's the assignment.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because it looks a little bit different. So are you going to vote? Why or why not? And so right now I'm like, well, how do I respond to this?
You view the question
View question.
and it takes you to the,
Oh, okay, so it's good that I can't actually put a response here. I kind of wanted to put comments under class comments, but it's not letting me. So my answer's here. And students might accidentally put it here as well. This would just be comments to the teacher, private comments, right? I'm voting early. I hit turn in. But now you should be able to see my response. And now I can look and see, once you respond, then you can see your classmates' answers as well. You bet I will walk over broken glass. Yes. Okay, so cool. So,
Well, since we're in the classroom, we could have been responding.
you still can. Yep, not too late.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
Because I haven't used, to be honest, I have not used the Google Classroom Live yet. I've only used it to post assignments for them to do for homework.
I'm sorry, say the last thing again, Tim.
So this is new to me. This is like really rich stuff.
This is the biggest lesson that I've learned, and it took me 2 semesters to, I mean, not 2, but I taught in the spring and then I taught in the summer. And my experience with Google Classroom in the spring was okay. I got to learn how to make assignments, but my students really struggled. And I talked to other teachers and I found out the ones who were most successful, they organized their entire class around it. So their Zoom class was in Google Classroom. Sort of the way I mean, not exactly what we're doing, but like they did the assignments together in Google Classroom. So in the breakout room, students had Google Classroom open. They were working on an assignment from Google Classroom, but in the Zoom breakout room, they came back to discuss, so that it's really supported. There's lots of time.
So did that help them work independently? Did it enhance their experience working independently?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think the emphasis was a little less on independent work and more on the group work, which is probably kind of more like what our normal classes are like, right? We tend to do work in class. Not that many students do homework generally. I mean, some do, but not, for me, I was mostly doing my Zoom class, and then my Google Classroom was totally separate, and a few students were able to manage it, but most of them just didn't really figure it out. So the lesson to me is I feel like I need to make it much more central. So
okay.
Let me show you how to create a couple other kinds of assignments. You can create a multiple choice question as well, which is basically the same thing. You go, hopefully we're still looking at my screen here. Okay, so you go to create question. And I did this with a social studies practice question. I'm not sure if you saw that. I think maybe a couple people saw it. So it's really the same thing again, but rather than short answer, you just choose multiple choice. And then I don't know, what's your favorite season, let's say. And then you just put, put the options in here. And it's everything else is the same, right? No due date. I mean, this sort of thing, I wouldn't worry about a due date, and I wouldn't grade things. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not going to worry about that. A warm-up question, and boom, ask. So you should have it now. hopefully,
Plus, what was the plus at the bottom there? It seemed like it said, there were two options. One was to, I think you could add, I can't, okay, yeah, so there was add and create. So I understand the add, you're adding maybe a file or something like that, but what was the plus? I actually thought that the create meant to send it out. So this is just another option to do more with this particular, maybe you can add pictures of the seasons or, I don't know, something like that.
yeah, I'm not sure how it would work with a multiple choice question. It seems to me more appropriate for the other kinds of assignments.
I actually thought create meant that was creating the assignment. Like you click on create and that happened versus the save up there or not submit, but the post up towards the right-hand corner. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, these are here for every different kind of assignment. You can always attach different materials. Like it's one assignment, but you might have to look at a picture and a diagram and a PDF and do a spreadsheet. Or, it could have lots of materials as one. And one nice thing about this is I put a check mark here and you can see other students' responses. So you could do this with a practice question. So you sort of have a quick poll of what people chose. Okay, nobody chose B, so I don't even have to talk about option B. Or, I don't know, something like that, I guess.
So Eric, can you show us what that looks like? I know 2 people responded. How does it look
cool.
like for the teacher end?
So, so what I said earlier in terms of feedback or response, I can go to grades is one way. There's many ways to get to the results though. As a teacher, I can also just go to the assignment and what is your favorite season? 2 people has responded so far, and you can see it automatically makes maybe a couple more people will respond and we'll see more, but it makes like a little, like a little bar chart kind of thing.
But if you wanted to see who chose summer,
then you would maybe, I guess, let's see. Oh, you can click here. Oh, good. Here, and it updates live. That's cool. So 3 people. So I can click here on turned in.
okay.
And I still don't really see who.
Yeah.
What do I do? I thought I'd go to summer. Okay, summer. Let's find out who likes summer. Kate and Asmara.
Okay.
I knew you guys were sympathetic, right? So, and then fall, Tim. So that's kind of cool. I haven't actually played with this before. So yes, you could have people like arguing different positions, right? Because you run it, like, because somebody from the fall group, or
That's helpful.
So let's see a couple other kinds of assignments. I want to give you some time to practice making these on your own. Let's see here. If you go to create again, so all this stuff is in the classwork under create. My guess is most of the things you create will actually be under assignment. Those 2 kinds of questions, like a quick short answer question. The one nice thing about these is they don't require anything outside of Google Classroom. They don't require Google Docs. They don't require students to writing on PDFs. It's all just like a little bit of typing or choosing on a form. So they're relatively simple. And so Christina's, working with a level 1 ESL group. I was thinking, well, maybe that's a place to start because it doesn't require having to bounce around to editing in Google Docs or something else like that. But other assignments where you want students to do a more substantial piece of writing or other work, you probably want to use an assignment here. So you create assignment. So we need an assignment. Let's make it a writing assignment. Okay, so we have a writing assignment. We don't know what it is yet, but we could just say, I don't know, please. Somebody think of a prompt here. Please work on this assignment in class
You need to
today.
explain why it is important to vote.
Okay. So nice. So maybe I'll just say here, I'll give it just a general topic of voting, but I haven't actually given the prompt. I'm going to give the prompt to them in the actual document. So what we would do now is create. So we click create a Google Doc. Probably the easiest way or the best way to have a writing assignment. Hopefully that will work for students. So I click create doc. It creates this document and then automatically opens it. And so what I'm doing here basically is creating a template for students. I'm creating a worksheet, let's say, sort of a simple worksheet. But you could, it could be as simple as, why is it important to vote? Or it could be super complicated. You could have all kinds of formatting and other text and multiple choice. You could do whatever you want in this document. You can also attach another document you've already created. But let's just say that's all it is, right? Then I just basically close it. So I'm clicking on the X up here. Notice it bounced me out. I was here, right? When I hit create, and it bounced me over and opened up this document automatically, right?
Yes.
Just going to click on the X to close it. And I'm back here. I can, I can bounce between these tabs here.
Eric,
But
is it
now,
necessary- I apologize. Is it necessary at this point to give that untitled document a title, or just leave it like that?
it's a good point. It's a good point. Let me see here. Let's open it up again. So
I know
notice that I can open it again.
Show us, and I appreciate that. I did this a couple of times already, and I realized that if I didn't start naming these, I'd have all these untitled document activities like
Yeah.
that.
It's a good point. So let's
Everything.
click on it again. We can go ahead and edit it. We haven't assigned it yet.
I know, and again, I know you're doing this quickly just to kind of give us, the how-tos.
No, I'm glad you stopped me. One thing that I had it on full screen, so it was hiding. It was hiding this
Right.
place where you can title it. So I'm glad
Yeah,
you brought
yeah,
that
yeah.
up.
I was actually wondering where were the other parts of the page, so thank you.
Yeah. So if you go, this is one of the nice things about Google Docs. It's pretty easy to rename a document. You just click up here, and it actually will take whatever's at the top of your document.
Yeah. Word does that too.
Oh, it does now? Okay, cool. But you can change it, right? So you could just say voting, writing assignment, or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
I think you're right, Michael. You should name it here at now, because later on it's going to be confusing if you have a bunch of untitled.
Right, it just, when it was actually, when you created it, and then you have this link to a document that says untitled document, I just wasn't sure if it was necessary that my students need to see exactly what this is, or they're gonna see, this is the assignment says the name, and then even though the document doesn't have a name, it's gonna bring them to this location.
They would, in the end, they would see this same question, but then it would just say untitled. Actually, it would say their name and then untitled.
Okay.
And now it's going to say their name and voting writing assignment. So if I close this now, I think it takes a minute to update on this page.
Sure.
But when I hit assign, I think hopefully you will see the correct name. Now here you have one more choice here. You have three choices here where students could just view the file, which in this case is not very useful. We need them to edit, we need them to write. Or they could all work on the same document. Students can edit file, or they can have their own document.
Which they can edit.
Which they can also edit. So most of the time, I think you'll probably choose this last option. There might be some group work assignments in class where you want everyone to work in the same document, then they can read what each other are writing. But it's a little confusing but for independent work, I think you definitely make a copy for each student, right? And then we take the points off, ungraded, choose a topic, right? There's some couple things you kind of have to roll through each time. I'm going to put it in my reading and writing assignments, the category I already had. I'm going to ignore the rubric. Someone asked earlier if that was necessary. I don't even know. I mean, I know what a rubric is, but I don't think it's necessary here. I mean, unless you use rubrics normally with your students, it's optional. Then you hit assign, and maybe someone could share their screen and show us the assignment, how it looks on your side.
Okay, I could do that. All right. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to introduction,
Okay.
classwork. And I'm going to scroll down to find it. It was under writing, I think. Reading, writing.
It's on, yep, there it is, that, yeah, the top one there, right?
Okay.
You notice it
So-
says Marty Flores, and then it says, so it made it a copy with her name on the front. So, yeah.
That's so great. That's so great that it does that. So it's personalized.
There's a
So
little
I'm-
thing, Marty, could you go back to the, it may not matter in this particular instance, but if you go back there for a second.
Yep.
You may want to get students in the habit of clicking view assignment rather than clicking on links there. I think
Okay.
for sometimes that actually matters, where if they click on view assignment, they might see more options than they would see otherwise.
Okay.
I think in this case, maybe it doesn't matter, but I would recommend that students actually view the full assignment. They would see all the attachments. And I think it actually matters for the PDF editing. But then what you do is you go ahead and click on your name up there. But you could also do it, by the way, where it says add or create, you could do the whole thing on paper, take a photograph of it and add it that way, right? That's another way to respond to the assignment. You don't have to do it as a Google document.
I don't see the view assignment option that you're talking about. I clicked on the
Would you mind going
assignment.
back, Marty? And so you're probably, I don't know if you see what we're looking at, Tim, here, but.
All right, I can go back to Zoom. Okay, I'm back to Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have that little blues view assignment at the bottom of mine.
Did you click on writing assignment at the top? Like click on, yeah.
Oh, at the top, not at the, okay.
Well, so click
Let
on.
me get out again.
It says Eric Appleton posted a new assignment. Writing
So don't
assignment
click on
voting.
that.
You can click on that. You can click on that blue,
Yeah,
at the
click
title
on
text
that.
there.
And I don't see view assignment.
Huh. It didn't show at that time either.
So Tim, why don't you share your screen?
Okay.
Okay. While he's looking, question, Eric.
All right, there we go.
So you're already in it. Yeah, so if you go back one, you're definitely
Okay.
viewing the assignment now.
Okay.
So click on where it says Eric Appleton posted a new assignment, that title, yeah, click on that.
Okay. And
Oh,
this is
interesting,
what-
yeah, so it looks different, that's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
And it gets even weirder on phones. That was going to be my next question. That seems to be the biggest challenge for my students is on the phone. It's like a whole different animal.
Yeah, so I
And-
recommend, getting like maybe another second Gmail account and seeing if you can, what it looks like for you when you respond, when you
Yeah.
work on
Okay,
phones.
that's a great idea.
Let's see here. I could show you on mine, but I think I might let you practice a little bit with this first. But what we didn't do, right? Well, we know how to create it because that's the real question here is how to create. Responding is another.
So if I don't
challenge.
have the view, my next step is to add or create?
Yeah.
Well, you mean, well, right now you're interacting this with as a student, right?
Yes.
So you're saying as a student, you should, add or
Well,
create.
I don't have the view assignment option.
Oh, but what you showed us was it didn't save you assignment, but you were viewing the assignment.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
Like when you clicked on it, you had all the information.
Okay, I got you.
So if you
Tim,
actually
could
show us one more time, let me just point something out to you.
Okay.
Or for
Let me
all of
go
us. probably it's
back.
useful.
Okay.
So this is definitely all the assignment, all the information. For some reason, you have the document twice. I'm not sure why. But if you look on the top right there,
Well, because I was confused. I was trying stuff when I didn't see the view.
So did you copy it?
No, I didn't copy it. If I go to this, it's going to be blank.
but you could click on the X on the second one to delete it.
Yeah.
I would-
Let me move
so
you
the-
people out of the way. You guys are in the way.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right, there we go. All right.
So now, and then to edit it, you go ahead and click on, click on the Google Doc itself.
Which should be blank because I haven't written anything.
It'll just have the prompt. Right.
Why is it important to vote? Okay, I think, okay. All right, great.
Okay.
Um,
Tim, could we let Tim try and respond to this while we have view of his?
Yeah, sure. You're on the spot, Tim. Why is it
Okay,
important?
So Tim, you're going to respond to this on the, okay, so he's
On the
responding on the
document,
same
right?
page.
Put me on the spot. It's important to vote. Somebody want to help me out?
If people died
It's gotta
for
be,
it.
Okay.
don't forget your preposition too. It is important to vote.
But don't make it too perfect, because we could just look at how to fix it, how to get feedback too.
That would be
Do
good.
I have to hit enter or anything?
No, well, if you want a new paragraph, you would.
Oh, but I mean, you guys can just, okay.
So now, do you see where to turn it in?
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
I can see how the Zoom window can block those little boxes, like, just assign or share.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always doing that when I'm moving the boxes around. So that I've gotten used to, and then trying to have the chat open as well.
Close that.
So I'll share my screen
All right,
here.
so I
you
turned
can
it
see.
in.
So now, if I go to classwork. Oh, it's a writing assignment. That's right. So writing assignment, voting. Oh, 3 people turned it in, right? So I click on the 3 here, and I should be able to see the 3 people who turned it in.
Will
So
you
Chris,
see
Kate,
the
and Tim.
documents?
So here's Tim. I can click on his name, and then boom, I'll be in his document, right?
Yay. Okay.
And so at this point, you can make comments in the document. I mean, you can write in the document. You can make corrections if you wanted, or you can make comments. I don't know.
And this is only you and Tim, right? In other words, another
Exactly.
student can come in and make a comment here, right?
Right.
Show us how you can write in the document, Eric, because we were having a discussion about whether that was possible.
So you can make a comment, right? So if you highlight a piece of text, as soon as you highlight a piece of text, there's a little plus sign on the side for adding a comment, or you
But
can write.
you have to choose the suggestion feature first.
Well, I'm going to respond to Kate's question, but what I'm saying, one way to do this is to give people comments. If you want to write in the document itself, you don't have to do that, Marty. You just start writing.
Oh.
So maybe you could write
right.
about your personal experience here. In a normal Google document, you would choose suggestions, but in this case, I think as a teacher, it's automatically set up as a suggestion. So as soon as I write, when Tim opens it up, he's going to see this in there as a suggestion. So you can make corrections too. I don't see any. You see, you made it too perfect. I don't see anything that needs to be fixed, but.
Well, you could add 2 between important and vote.
So there you go. So if Tim wanted, he could accept this suggestion, right, or not. And I can also make comments to Tim here. maybe I think the private comments, you could use this however you want. It could be more general, maybe with more specific feedback in the text.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I've used that with the homeworks, the private comments. all the
so, and then,
time.
and then I just hit return. And so at this point now, Tim will get it back. So Tim, you want to show us what it looks like real quick? And then I'd like to give you guys some time to practice creating assignments.
Okay, so wait a minute here. Where am I gonna? Oh, so I'm just gonna go back into the document, correct?
Go back to Google Classroom.
Yeah, okay. And where are you people at? You people are here. Go here,
Can you show us what
Yeah.
you're doing, Tim?
here. This is what you wanted to see, correct, Eric? Does everybody see this?
Yeah.
Can you show us how you opened that, Tim?
How did I open that?
How did you find it?
Oh, I clicked on the same, I clicked on the document on the right.
Can you
So
show us
I don't
that?
know. Okay, I'll try. Okay, there we go. So I clicked on where it
Your-
says your work.
Okay. Yeah,
On
okay.
that,
Okay, and you get the whole page
and
back.
there it
Okay,
is. Right? I clicked on your work.
with comments and everything. Okay. See, this all works now, but when you're in class and your students start having trouble,
Well, yeah, right. Well, we're all on computers here, yeah.
Well, I tried annotation today, Eric, from yesterday's workshop
Uh-huh,
with some modicum of success. So
there we go.
you gotta, yeah.
You gotta
I'm
have some
gonna try- I'm gonna
failures.
try this stuff. I mean, this is where we're at now. So we gotta kind of embrace it,
we'll be experts next cycle.
Yeah.